Hey guys, how's it going? So I've done several videos on my SDS imports 1911 A1 US Army, and I actually really like this pistol. It was a great price and I'm really glad I bought it. So if you're new to the channel, go back and look at my pistols playlist. You're going to see at least 4 or 5 videos on this pistol, but that's not what this video is about today. What I'm here to show you is my brand new, and this will be an unboxing, SDS imports, model 1911 A1 US Army, but this one's in 9mm, 9x19. So let's check this one out. And I was pretty excited to see that these came out on the market just shortly thereafter the 45s. So let's take a quick look inside the box here. We basically just have our owner's manual, a little cleaning rod, a little brush, which is the same thing they included with the 45. Little piece of foam there, and then the pistol itself, and that's it. And not that it's a big deal, but I'm just noting right off the bat, the 45 came in a blue VCI type bag. This one just came loose in the box, so who knows, who cares. So take a quick look at it here. So this is marked model 1911 A1 US Army ZIG M1 Tisas, Turkey. So the importer is SDS Imports. They bring it into the United States, do all the marketing, and these are actually made by a company called Tisas in Turkey. So what do we have here? Well, basically this is a US M 1911, the famous service pistol. You know, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, dozens of other conflicts. Has served this country for like 100 years, right? This is basically a pretty accurate clone of a true M 1911 A1. So we're going to see here, it is a single action pistol. It has the normal backstrap safety like any other 1911. And like I said earlier, this is a pretty accurate clone of an A1. We're going to see that we have the little scalloped areas here to get a little bit closer to the trigger there. That's an A1 feature. We're also going to see that it has the A1 type sights, which is just a little notch in the rear, and then a little half circle type front sight post. The sights, not the best, but to me they're doable. Just fine for me, and it does carry, you know, some historical accuracy here. I'm just going to get my initial overall impression of this pistol like I normally do. Let's pop the mag out. The action feels very smooth. Really good, actually. Wow. You know, I was impressed with the 45, and this is already starting to feel like the same type of thing. The fit and finish on this pistol looks to be impeccable. Everything feels very smooth. The trigger is actually quite nice. Wow. This just feels like right now that it's in the 3.5-ish pound range, maybe 4 pounds at the most. Very smooth trigger. The reset is very short and crisp. Wow. So let's try that again here. The hammer's cocked. There's just a little bit of take up, and then I hit a smooth wall. Of course, this being a 1911, it has the straight pullback trigger. This is why so many people like the trigger so much, right? There's no pendulum or swinging effect. It's just straight back. We're going to see just a little bit of take up here. And then very crisp and clean break. Now I'm going to do the reset. And the reset is going to be right there. So nice short reset, very crisp. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's nice, guys. I'm really liking the trigger so far a lot. Typical 1911 safety. So you're going to notice there's a detent here. It's going to take quite a bit more pressure to engage the safety, which is a good thing because you never want to inadvertently turn your safety on, right? But then when you come down with your thumb, it brushes off very easy and allows the pistol to be fired. So typical 1911 manual of arms there. This would be your cocked and locked type carry, which is a very common type of carry for the 1911, in a holster obviously. And we're just going to brush that safety right off. And wow, what a nice little trigger on this. And I actually have a digital Lyman trigger gauge here, so let's get this thing fired up and see what we've got. £3, 3.9 ounces. Let's try it again. £3, 14 ounces. One more time. £3, 3 ounces. Look, I'm not an expert at using trigger gauges, but I might have had it on a little bit different spot each time, even though I tried to pull it right in the middle. But an average of about 3.5 pounds. So a fairly light trigger. Very smooth. The reset, very short, crisp. Yeah, I'm definitely liking it. Now, right off the bat, the cost. You guys are probably all wondering. I bought this for $360 plus shipping, tax, FFL, but $360 online, which I think is very affordable for a pistol like this. It is made in Turkey. People have different opinions on that, which I don't feel like getting into right now, but this is definitely a Turkish-made firearm. Tisas has been making firearms for a long time under many different models. And the key parts to this pistol, meaning the frame, the slide, and the barrel, are all forged components. Like I said earlier, the machining on this is just excellent. And it has a Parkerized looking finish. However, and this is very accurately done, because on my 45 that I did the review on before, I mistakenly told you guys I believed it was actually Parkerized. Made a little mistake, guys, but I was just giving you my honest first impressions. After further research, I've realized with both the 45s and 9s, these SDS Imports Tisas pistols, these M1911s if you will, these are actually a Cerakote that's done in an almost perfect color and even the right texture for a Parkerizing. So this is actually not a Parkerized finish, although cosmetically could have fooled me. So we have a Parkerized gray Cerakote applied to the frame, the slide, as well as the barrel. And we're going to note the caliber designations right there on the top. Cal 9mm Luger. It's having a little bit of a hard time with the light reflecting on it, zooming in on that. Sorry about that, guys, but it's very, very lightly etched. That's why it's having a hard time picking it up. But it definitely says 9mm Luger on the barrel. That's the only place I see the caliber marking. So the sides of it are pretty plain Jane, which I think is cool. There's not a big billboard of markings and import markings, which kind of helps give this its nice utilitarian and rather authentic look. The grips are a standard USGI style, made out of polymer. The checkering is very appropriate, and in fact, if you go back and look at one of my older videos for my 45, they're actually really, really close to the USGI, and I did end up upgrading that to the original, US surplus grips. So, very nice grips, plenty enough grips to get the job done in my opinion, and that's one of the great things about the 1911. You can upgrade these to probably 1,000 different aftermarket options, so that's definitely pretty cool. It feeds from a single stack, 9-round, 9mm magazine, and the magazine is definitely actually Parkerized, guys, I'm certain. So, whereas the rest of it's Cerakoted to look like it's Parkerized, this mag is truly Parkerized. And it clearly states that it's made by Metgar. Metgar is an Italian company that makes magazines for many, many OEM guns, and also many aftermarket options. And in my opinion, I found Metgar to be a pretty good to go magazine company. I've always really liked their mags, so that's a cool thing right there that they source their mags with Metgar. I'll definitely give them a plus on that. And whereas the 45 caliber holds 7 rounds, this does hold a full 9 rounds of 9mm, so that's pretty cool. We see that it has the lanyard loop integral to the back of the frame here. We can see there's the serrations on the mainspring housing. Typical 1911 style safety with the beaver tail. This being an A1, this is going to have the A1 type beaver tail. We're going to see on the hammer, there's some nice checkering there. No problem whatsoever cocking the hammer on this pistol. Very, very easy. So that's cool. We have our mag release over here on the left, just like a normal 1911. And the mag does drop free. I'm trying not to drop it on the ground, guys. But it definitely has a drop-free mag, which is also very nice. A little bit of stippling on the mag release. The trigger. It's not much, and it's hard to notice. I don't even know if the camera will be able to pick it up. But there's like some micro laser etching and a little bit of a crosshatch pattern, which again, it's not much. Nothing like what I would call grooves or anything like that, but it's just enough to give your finger a little bit of traction on the trigger, which I definitely like. It does not feel like my trigger finger is going to slip off of here, so even with it being a Cerakote finish, there's nothing shiny or slippery about this trigger whatsoever, which I think is very nice. Locks open on the last round. The magazine. The slide release is over here on the left. Let me see if I can do this all, in frame here. There you go. It's always so much harder to do it on camera, guys, but yeah, the slide release works exactly as it should. Let's take another look at it, guys. This is a nice looking pistol. Now, in my opinion, this is a very accurate clone, especially with what you're paying for it. If this was displayed with all of your original milsurps, it would take a trained eye unless they got close enough to read the markings to really know the difference. When you look at the silhouette of this, it's very close to being a true A1. Now, they've done a couple things that makes it stray just a little bit for all the purists out there. This does have an enlarged ejection port on the slide, helps the rounds get out of there a little easier. It also has a widened feed ramp, which both of these are good upgrades, and quite frankly, most 1911 guys I know, that's one of the first modifications they like to do, is enlarge their ejection port and polish the feed ramp, get barrels with widened feed ramps. So there's a couple little things they did to stray away from the traditional USGI spec, but in my opinion, they're both upgrades. So for those of you that are that much of a purist, you might have to spend your big money on an original one. But this is for the person that just wants a shooter, in my opinion, or somebody who likes to collect milsurps like me, but just can't afford a true 1911 US, US property mark that actually served in the wars, right? And I don't think this completely takes the place of that by any means, but I think it serves as a good placeholder in the collection. Also, a pistol you can go out and shoot and enjoy it. And you're still going to protect this the best you can because you spent your hard-earned money, right? But if you accidentally dropped it and it got a little scrape or a ding, you're not going to freak out as much as if you had, one that's a sentimental heirloom that was passed down, or one that you just spent a lot of money for. So for that, there's kind of a cool feeling about having such an affordable, economy type pistol that, again, we work hard for our money, but it's not like it needs to be a safe queen either, right? So that's what I think is kind of cool about it. Now, another big 1911 question. And I'm going to try to just put this in layman's terms, guys, because this is just a regular, everyday guy channel. And for you 1911 aficionados, hopefully I'll get it right. But if you guys know more than me about it, hey, sorry. But here's the deal. There's a couple general types of 1911s. People say, well, is it a Series 70 or a Series 80? And mainly what they mean by that is the Series 80 will have a firing pin block safety built into the slide, where a Series 70 will not. Well, there's actually kind of a third type, and that would be a pre-70 series, some people call it. Some people call it a USGI series. Some people will just call it a 1911 A1 and say there's no reason to put the 70 or 80 behind it. That's kind of how I would look at it, because before around 1970, you just had the 1911, whether it was an original or an A1, right? And there's been 100 variations of this if you get down to all the modern versions and stuff, but here's the gist of it. I'm fine with you calling this a Series 70 or a GI spec or a pre-70, because this does not have the firing pin block safety in the slide. And that's a feature a lot of people like, because they say it gives them a better, cleaner trigger pull, which I happen to agree. Some people would like to have that drop safety or, you know, firing pin block safety in there. So you can call this, in my channel anyways, you can call this a Series 70 if you want, and I'm going to say you're right. You can call this a pre-70, go for it. You can call this a USGI spec, go for it, or just an A1. You guys know what I'm saying. But the gist is, this is definitely not a Series 80. That's what we can say for sure. So we've got our Series 70 / pre-70. Everything on this, fit and finish, down to the Cerakote, that's such realistic Parkerizing copy. I truly got fooled on my first one and thought it was Parkerized. The trigger pull is excellent. It's very, very clean. Okay, very, very short, reset, crisp, audible. I mean, I'm liking pretty much everything about this. The hammer has a really nice checkering where it needs to be. And then another thing some people ask, with the beaver tail here, do I get slide bite or hammer bite? And the answer is absolutely not. I'm choking up very high. You can even see the loose skin on my hand here is actually slightly going over the top of the beaver tail. Okay, this is where I like to hold the pistol. I like to choke up, and that hammer is just simply not coming back and touching my hand. Yeah, it's getting close, but not a problem whatsoever. So there you go. 360 bucks. This follows right in the same lineage as the 45 ACP that you guys might be a little more familiar with, that's been around for a while. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison later on. If you guys want me to, definitely let me know down in the comments there. I always like hearing you guys' input. But right off the bat, I'm going to say this is basically the same exact pistol as the 45. Just a couple differences. It's chambered in 9mm, and it's going to hold 9 rounds in the mag instead of 7. And I want to emphasize that, because there is a popular website that sells these that clearly states 7 rounds, both in their title and description. So I believe that's just a typo. It says 9 rounds on the box. But before we end here, let's just check it out. These are snap caps, guys, not real ammo. So just to let you know. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 rounds of 9mm in this magazine. Still a little bit more room to go. I'm not going to fit a 10th round in here, but clearly this holds 9 rounds. So, alright, while I've got it loaded up with these snap caps, let's just load around and see how it feeds, see how it ejects, extracts, etc. Alright. Alright, threw it right out of there. There you go. Looks like it's feeding pretty good, guys. Extracting, ejecting. Nice. So yeah, my initial overall thoughts, I'm really liking this pistol. I'm definitely looking forward to doing a follow-up at the range. I'm definitely looking forward to doing a side-by-side if you guys are interested in this 45 that I've already done quite a few videos on, as well as this 9mm, but maybe we can see right here. I'll give you guys a little teaser. They're basically almost the same guns. Now remember, these are original USGI grips that I updated. Just a little upgrade I felt like doing. The original ones were exactly like this 9mm, but there you go. I've got the 45, I've got the 9, and kind of excited about this little pistol, guys. 360 bucks. And while that's really cheap for this, just remember, guys, I bought this with my own money. Nobody sent me the gun. If you want to help out, my Patreon is down there in the description. I also have my new Amazon affiliate link. And if you click on that, any of your purchases, it doesn't matter if it's one of the items I'm featuring, just anything you buy does earn me a commission, helps out the channel. And as you can see, anything that I'm bringing in from the channel, I'm putting right back in, including the new purchase of this 9mm 1911 and the ammo that I'm going to use when I go out to the range. So hey, it costs you guys nothing. So if you want to keep seeing good content on here and me putting money back in, at least try to remember to click on the Amazon affiliate link. It'd really help out, because the ad revenue on here, not so much. I don't even want to get into that. So real quick before I go, because in 1911s the bushings matter, the shape of them and things like that. I'm going to show you guys the muzzle of the gun. I think anyone should know that you're on the other side of a camera, and I mean nobody harm. I'm a really nice guy and I just do this to hang out, but someone's going to get offended, and when you do, sorry about your luck. So you're on the other side of a camera, you're going to be okay. But there you go. There's what the front of it looks like. You can take a look at the button, as it's called there, the bushing. Try to get a couple different angles of that, and you're going to see these pistols look almost identical until you get to the business end, and then there's going to be a noticeable difference. That's a very easy way to tell. But other than that, you can see these pistols are basically put together virtually identical. The triggers feel similar on both, the action, and I mean that in a good way, as in both of these SDS imports, Tisas 1911s, have been absolutely great. Hey, this is just my initial review. I'm sure I missed something, so if I did and you have any further questions, let me know down in the comments, guys. Looking forward to possibly doing a side-by-side video later. Definitely going to go out and shoot this, so I may as well bring the camera along if anyone's interested, and I'll show you, you know, some follow-up shooting on my SDS imports. 9mm 9+1 capacity for $360, budget A1 type 1911 pistol. Alright, I've had fun, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Taking one quick look at it here for you guys one more time. Plenty of oil from the factory, that's nice. Alright, I'm excited, guys. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a good one.